Hello, everybody. This is the amazing Brooke Brown. She is an energy healer and she is also a yogi in the Bible Belt. And I asked her to come in today to talk a little bit more about Reiki. Reiki has become kind of a household name. It's easily the most popular form of or modality of energy healing. And I think a lot of people are curious about it, but don't necessarily want to ask questions or have the opportunity to ask questions of a real life person versus ChatGPT or Google. And so that is why the lovely Brooke is here. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Meg.
Brooke is amazing. So, my first question, just because of what I'm up to, the Californian psychic medium who's going to be touring once again through the Bible Belt, what is it like being a healer, being an energy healer in the South, in the Bible Belt?
Well, I think at first it was terrifying, right? There's just a lot of fear. There's a lot of people who are scared, and there's a lot of people who believe in a lot of things. And energy might not be the first thing that they go to. So at first, it was a little terrifying at first. But as I've gotten more comfortable with myself and my abilities, and as I've just continued to heal, right? Because it's kind of my lifelong journey. It has become more natural and easier and such a joy to hold space for people who are curious and interested and scared and really just want to talk about it and ask questions about it. So it's turning into something absolutely beautiful and something that I did not imagine was going to be so just rewarding. And it's just a joy to be able to hold space for people in an area just kind of surrounded by fear and
Or
uh, yeah. So first it was tricky, but it's my jam.
you know the trick now.
Yeah.
You know the trick. And like anyone, if you are curious, but you're also kind of scared, Brooke is just about the best person on the planet to be scared with. And and she does do distance work. So that is awesome.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So when I first started my spiritual awakening, I had like no interest in energy healing at all until I personally experienced energy healing. And that was really oh, hi, Kiki, the hook, line, and sinker for me getting into deeper spiritual work. It's kind of like magical.
Mhm.
For you, what are your favorite things about Reiki or energy healing in general that you have kind of like glommed on to enjoy?
Yeah. So many things. And like energy healing wasn't my first go to, but it definitely became something that I go to daily for myself. So yeah, Reiki meets people exactly where they are. And that is one of the coolest things. So you don't have to be on this, major healing path. You can be anywhere in it. You can be just beginning, curious. You can be knee deep in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but Reiki meets you exactly where you are. And it met me where I was. So yeah, just it's very accessible to people. And there's no right way to experience it. So yeah, that's one of the many things. Yeah, it also reminds people and myself um, that we're not broken. I love watching people discover that, and I love discovering that myself. Like I'm okay. I just need to remember, what I have inside, and energy healing and Reiki has helped me come back to that.
Oh, I love that because we really are raised in a world, like kind of in general, that says if you have any level of imbalance, right? If you're sick or if you're sad or if you have anger, there's something wrong with you. I mean, even the way we respond to people who aren't feeling well, one of the first things we ask is, what's wrong? right? When
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong, it's just everything's out of balance, which you have to accept living on a magma filled spinning chaos rock. Like things are going to get out of balance. It's a miracle we stay in any semblance of balance, whatsoever. And what you're saying reminds me of something Cassandra said a long time. Cassandra's my main spirit guide, if you haven't already had the pleasure. And she said that the human heart is meant to be broken. And it's like a muscle, right? We go to the gym, we tear the muscles up, and then it grows back stronger. So if things aren't, periodically getting out of balance for you, then I mean, are we even learning and living at that point?
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the things that put me into awe when I first started going to and training at my church, my psychic church, was the relaxation aspect of energy healings. They just did a laying on of hands healing on me. And I almost fell asleep in the chair, which is like a
Yeah.
miracle for me because I am hyperactive. Do you kind of find that's also something you notice in
Oh,
yourself?
yeah. Oh, yeah. And I go to Reiki sessions myself. I perform it on myself. I'm a practitioner for people. And I also go to my Reiki master and get Reiki done because it helps me relax. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. And I do fall asleep on the table, and she totally doesn't mind. And yeah, I just feel so safe and held when I'm receiving Reiki or performing, a healing. And it's just so relaxing. My husband will also say, he kind of explains Reiki as for him, because it's different for everybody. Yeah, it's a way to just induce deep relaxation and meditation. So he also falls asleep on the table. But yeah, it's so nice. It's so relaxing. It feels so good.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I still remember that was just breathtaking for me. I felt like I was transported to another world temporarily, like the world of relaxation, and I don't have to do anything right now,
Yep,
which
just
is
be.
oh
Yeah.
so juicy.
Hmm.
Okay. And so I say something that a lot of people get if they've been there, but not necessarily if they haven't. I often call Reiki the gateway drug. People will start training for Reiki, and then all of a sudden, their intuition and their connection to spirit is like, and you can take even the greatest skeptic, put them in a Reiki training course, and then all of a sudden, their intuition kind of blows up. Did that happen for you? Have you seen that happen
Oh
for
yeah.
other people?
Absolutely. Yes. And I think, and I have seen it happen for people too. And I think what it is that deep relaxation that we just talked about. Like it really, when you stop and you slow down and you start receiving Reiki and relaxing and opening and letting go of things, you allow so much more room, for growth and for intuition and for connection to yourself and to spirit. And yeah, it's kind of like a little scratch on the surface, and then the gate, you can control it, right? Like you don't have to go crazy with the floodgates, but you can go pretty deep, and it's a lot of fun. However deep you want to go with it, you can go there. And Reiki definitely, yeah, it's like a little gateway for everybody to kind of explore energy work and explore healing and maybe talk about it a little bit. But yeah, it definitely helped me with my intuition for sure. And I think because it allowed that place for me to release things that were just taking up the room, right? That I was just focusing so much on, holding on to so long for some reason. I didn't know why, probably because of fear, fear of the unknown. But yeah, Reiki definitely helped my intuition just flourish, along with a lot of other things, which is another cool thing about Reiki. But yeah, definitely so. Hmm.
See, it's magic. It's totally magic. But yeah, we communicate with spirit in the state of consciousness that is the space between. Spirit exists in the space between matter, and all we have to do is make space.
Yep. And just, yeah, and have fun with it too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you got to have fun. Vitamin F is a vital nutrient.
Absolutely.
Now, what's cool, especially if you're very intuitively led, my own experience with doing energy healing, which I work with spirit more so than I do a lot of energy healing, but when I do, it never gets boring. There's always something new to explore in a body or a new way to kind of push energy into a body. You can't get bored working with energy or even receiving energy healing. It's always a good time. Do you kind of do you kind of get that vibe too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's kind of like every session's different. Every time I get a session or have a session, and every time I give one, that's what's so cool about it. Like you don't get bored. And just holding space for people it's just a lot of fun. And but yeah, Reiki, every session's different. And that's what I really love about it. Yeah, super awesome.
Uh, um, I'll do, group events, and one of the things I say immediately is, I have no idea how this is going to go, and that's okay. And I feel like it's kind of the same for energy because
Mhm.
it takes the path of least resistance, and it goes like kind of it leads you to where you need to be, and that's almost it's not always where your mind thinks it's going to be.
That's true. That is very true.
So once again, at my psychic church, we do healing. And one of the important things we teach people is you can use universal healing energy, Reiki, for anything. I kind of joke like my big fat Greek wedding, the dad like just puts Windex on freaking everything. And I'm
Yep.
like, white dude, universal healing energy, same thing. Just throw some white light at it.
Yep.
See what happens. And I think what a lot of people miss with energy healing, I've noticed in communicating with people, is the emotional and mental healing aspect of energy healing, of Reiki, not just physical, but also mental healing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
have you seen that? Because I've definitely received energy healing where I found myself just like sobbing like a child.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe why some people are scared of it, right? Because we've all had these experiences that are, you know, eye-opening and maybe we weren't quite ready for. But that's what's cool about Reiki and energy work is it creates a safe container for you to be able to feel your emotions and for you to be able to sit with them and be uncomfortable with them and process them. In the world of busyness that we're living in, maybe we do it on purpose. We don't really want to take the time to to sit with what might be a little scary, right? And emotions, if you're not really sure even how you're feeling them or what you're feeling in them, we're not taught that. A lot of us weren't taught that
No,
growing up in the world. Like, you're not supposed to show your emotions. You're supposed
no.
to be strong and move forward. So Reiki definitely creates a safe space for you to be able to feel your emotions, for your emotions to be able to come up, and for you to really, if you choose to, figure out what those emotions are trying to tell you, and use that as some deeper work. Allow you to go a little bit deeper in your healing journey. But yeah, Reiki creates definitely like a safe container for us to be able to explore what our body has been holding for so long.
Right, because we have these little pockets of like, I'm just going to hide this anger over here or this, sorrow over there. But this is also, everyone, this is why I always recommend working with energy healers, spiritual counselors, professionals around your emotions, because it really is this vulnerable safe space. And we
Mhm.
have so much fear around like what is my best friend going to think if I'm processing my emotions with them, or like even like my spouse or this or that. Sometimes it's like so vulnerable that you kind of need to be with a kind and professionally trained stranger that holds space.
Yeah, I found that is very helpful.
Yeah,
Yep.
it really is a thing. And then, you can process your emotions, your thoughts, even your own energy in this really safe container in a way where you start to feel more liberated in your emotions and less limited by them in the rest of your life too.
Absolutely. And there's so much strength in that. Like
Mm.
just doing that will eventually change you. I mean, you will just, yeah, there's so much strength in that for sure.
And I like we've probably scared people by talking about sobbing on on a table, but it's a good
Yeah. You got
thing.
to feel the heal. You got to feel the heal, you know?
It's a good thing. And you get some side effects sometimes, which,
Yep.
you know, if it burns, it's working, I guess, the old Listerine commercials, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people get freaked out by those after effects. I should say after effects, not side effects, after effects of healing. But if you can kind of think of them like if it burns, it's working. Like for me, exhaustion, right? Being
Mhm.
really fatigued, which once again, really rare for me. I am a hyperactive monkey. Um, and I remember at some point, this was probably like 15, 16 years ago, I was thinking there's got to be something wrong that happened. But in reality, my body was like, you hyperactive monkey, sleep. This is how the energy has balanced you out. Sleep. What what after effects? I'm going to replace my original term side effects. After
Mhm.
effects have you kind of seen working with energy?
It's different for everyone.
Right.
And I like to refer to it as the healing response because, you know, I love Reiki. I love energy healing. I can go and just be like, give it to me. But sometimes it's really scary. And somebody may be coming into a session, maybe their friend told them, hey, you got to go try Reiki. It changed my life. It was so great. It was no bad things ever. And then they go to a session and they don't, you go to a session, you don't realize like,
The power.
yeah, it's very, very strong. And there's a lot and you start by feeling it in your body and you're like, this reminds me of anxiety, right? And then it starts to produce anxiety and you start to think of things. So, like, you can definitely have, I wouldn't call it maybe a negative response, but definitely an eye opening response where, yeah, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling tired. You might even get sick a week or two later. You might even come down with a, really bad cold or
Right.
um, need to lay down for a long time. But, it's known as the healing response, and every body heals differently.
Yeah.
Um, and I've definitely worked with a couple of people who the healing response terrified them at first, and they didn't come around for months.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah, like I'm not sure about that Reiki stuff, energy, but it allows you to sit with yourself again. And
yeah.
eventually coming back and hey, the last time we had a session, it was a little scary. But I think I'm ready to go for another one. And then usually by the second or third session, those types of people who are having those major healing responses at first can see the difference and like, okay, now it's working, even though it works every time, no matter
Yeah.
what.
It does.
You feel it differently every time. But yeah, I really love to just tell people, and I ask them first thing in a session, like, do you have any questions? And after the session, I just give them a little bit of, hey, what you just went through, believe like right now you might not be feeling it, but when you get home and process this now, 10 minutes, a day later,
Yeah.
things can come up.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are taking a walk and all of a sudden get hit with a, train of emotions and just start absolutely sobbing and not sure why,
Yeah.
you're releasing something. And it's okay. It's totally safe. It's totally fine. But definitely letting people know and introducing that side of it, like healing can be uncomfortable
Yeah.
and that's okay. And that's why there are people to hold space and people to make sure that you get through it. And you don't have to go through it alone.
No.
And that's what's really cool about Reiki.
Uh, um, so I have a healing teacher, Running Eagle. He's the only one of my guides that has no sense of humor. As you can see, Kiki is super involved in this meeting here over here. And how he shows me like people can be very afraid of healing because sometimes healing hurts as much as the original wound is like
Mm-hmm.
this vintage mom chasing after a little kid with a scrape and she's got a bottle of Bactine, and on a cotton ball. And I'm probably aging myself there because I don't think Bactine is very popular anymore, but it stings. And so, yeah, healing sometimes stings, but it's also what prevents our wounds from festering. And also,
Mhm.
the most sensitive of us, like highly sensitive people, empaths, light workers, I mean, throw 3 million different words at this one singular thing. Our central nervous systems are hypersensitive. That is why we can sense what we can sense, right? It's why we can do what we can do. And we're built tough. It's so funny. There's this idea that highly sensitive people are super sensitive to physical energy, spiritual energy, that we're these little weaklings because we're sensitive. But
Yeah.
if we didn't come in with a very robust system and body, we'd all be dead by now. And we onboard so much like a sponge throughout our lives that sometimes we get to a point where we do start healing. And that's when you start realizing how much you've taken on.
Oh gosh,
And,
yeah.
and I've seen people get hives after healing, like other allergic responses, because this is all, the central nervous system, like reacting and like rejecting all the stored energy that you got to move out. And it's so important to say that's normal. Have fun. If it burns, it's working.
That's right. That's right. It's so true. It's so true. And that can definitely scare people, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what positive things, so many positive things come out of things that scare us. So they just only makes us stronger, and it really allows you to really just look at it, and sometimes it's your body. Hey, you really need to slow down. So you're going to get a cold now and enjoy the bed for a week.
Yeah, exactly. Body says it's time to go to sleep. It's time for a nap. Oh, well, and also, even if you think about, because I've thought about this way too many times, maybe it's the ADHD or maybe it's the guides downloading this into my brain. The concept of metamorphosis, this caterpillar creates this cocoon, right? Crawls inside, and then its entire freaking body just mutates. And that makes me think of like all the terrible, horror films where someone's turning into a wolf and it's like, and it doesn't look fun, right? Metamorphosis, transformation. There is this really uncomfortable part of it, but it's kind of this necessary part to get to the butterfly, the butterfly part of your life, the metamorphosis, the transformation of you becoming the best version of yourself. And I've seen people set down all this energy, all these thoughts and stories that weren't them, right? And I've got to imagine you doing a lot of healing regularly, that you see that a lot, that kind of metamorphosis and transformation.
Oh yeah. And witnessing transformation is such a joy. Um, and I didn't realize how much of a joy it was going to be. I just knew that I've had some very special people hold space for me in my healing journey, and I wanted to offer that as well as I grow and heal. So witnessing transformation, people have more self-trust in themselves, better boundaries for themselves, which for me, that was a huge part of my awakening was, girl, you have got to set better boundaries in your life, like right
Mhm.
now. So yeah, people having greater peace, such a joy. Um, we're such resilient beings, and I often go back to resilience. I have found resiliency to be a theme, somewhat in my life, and Reiki has given me so much clarity around resilience, and I see that in so many people. And it's so fun to watch people transform, through healing, and just a deeper connection to themselves. Right? We have all this knowledge. We're created with it. It's
Oh, yeah.
here.
Stop.
It's right there. Yep.
Stop with the
How
system.
do we get back to it? How do we reconnect with ourselves? That's what's fun to watch, the transformation of reconnection. And that's really what did it for me, is reconnecting with myself and reconnecting with the things that I knew I had deep down. I've just through life and traumas and
Yeah.
other things, just suppressed it,
Yep.
but it was always there. And Reiki definitely helped me remember, and it's helped other people remember. And yeah, just witnessing that transformation. It's hard work, but it's so beautiful. And gosh, it's just so beautiful.
No. And like, so for anybody that has worked with energy workers, spiritual workers, or has thought about it, but you have any level of like shame or embarrassment about that process or being vulnerable, I need for you to know that we're there with you in these moments. And no matter how ugly it gets, we're like, oh my God, there they go. We love it. We're so excited for you. We're like your little energy cheerleaders, right? Because every healer has gone
Mhm.
through an initiation or five, you know, and we have uh, very honestly, we have walked through all of the crazy dark forests, right? Through swamps and like bear traps, you know, in our journey to become a healer. And trust me, we're not judging you in the swamp, in the dark forest. Like you could show up with a bear trap dragging behind you, attached to your leg, and we're like, let's do this thing. And we love
Welcome.
it. We love it. It's the greatest honor. I can't get too much deeper into like how great an honor it is without crying like a child. But trust me when we say it's probably the coolest part about what we do.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
So, do you find yourself with that? Do you find yourself kind of working with people that have like a naturopath or like the working with regular doctors too? Do you feel like Reiki complements other things? Because I feel like energy healing totally complements other modalities. And the reason why I say that is there's like all this shame and embarrassment over here, but I've noticed a lot of people are also concerned with what if I'm, treating something with, you know, a regular doctor or a naturopathic doctor and the Reiki messes something up.
Yeah. Reiki, it complements other healing modalities. It's that simple. Anybody can have Reiki. It's not gonna mess anything up. But if you feel more comfortable about it, of course, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely it works beautifully alongside. And I find this with people that I work with. I have found this with people that with myself even. Reiki was not my first modality. It might have been my fourth,
Yeah.
but it definitely like it kicked in the therapy that I was going to,
Yeah. Right.
and it complemented the yoga that I was doing every day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I talked to my therapist about it one time, and she actually recommended, EMDR and Reiki and all kinds of other things. Like, so there are professionals in the legit professional community that are saying, hey, maybe try something else too, because traditional talk therapy may be great for some, but some people, like myself included,
Yeah.
I needed something a little bit more. So through regular counseling, through spiritual counseling, through yoga, I found the path of Reiki along there in the mix. And once I found Reiki, the talk therapy that I was doing increased. I was able to open up and finally like let my therapist in after years and really start getting some deep work done with her. Also, with spiritual counseling, just allowing myself to show up for myself and to be safe, be felt like I could be held and be safe in such a, the South is, like I said earlier, it's a little scary at first.
Yeah.
But there are people and there are, and you can Google it. But yeah, Reiki complements anything, other healing modalities, perfectly fine. You don't need to be doing anything, but you could be doing all kinds of stuff, and Reiki is only going to, if anything, amplify all those other modalities that you're already on, therefore increasing
Yeah.
Your healing journey, like it's going to get you there. It can help you definitely for sure. And it helped me along the way. And I've never had any professional tell me, yeah, I don't know about that. In
Yeah.
fact, they're like, hey, you know what? If that's working for you and I can see that something is working for you,
Right.
go for it. Do it because your light is shining right now and let's go.
Yeah. Uh, well, and it's so fluid, right? I Reiki, universal healing energy is intelligent. It has its own intelligence, right? Just like, anything else in our worlds, right? Because we have the physical world, the magma filled spinning chaos rock that we are currently reincarnated on. And then we have home, right? The supernatural world. And both of these worlds have a natural and a supernatural order, and all energy is intrinsically intelligent. And I genuinely feel like Reiki knows what to do and where to go, just like the birds know where to migrate, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's part of our natural world. Like, there are energies all around us that we don't really think about until we recognize it and notice it and realize, oh my God, I'm surrounded by this stuff all the time. And it's free and infinite and it's everywhere. And you're really, really connected to the natural and the supernatural. But do you feel like Reiki for you, because it absolutely did for me, kind of reconnect you and ground you in like earth itself?
Absolutely. And I have nature has always been, nature was probably my first healer, right? I would always find healing and solace in nature. Um, I was a farmer, an organic farmer for a long time, over 12 years, had my own farm. So I've always had deep roots in farming and deep roots in nature. And I've always found wisdom in the natural world. So Reiki just kind of came naturally. And I love how Reiki mirrors nature itself, right? Neither forces,
Right.
neither rushes, and neither demands. It's like it's like setting seeds in the soil. And as the seeds unfold on their own time, so does your healing journey.
Wow.
So as somebody who retreats to nature daily to get my dose of healing from the trees, I find absolute mirrors through the connection of nature. Reiki's helped me strengthen my connection to nature. And one of my absolute favorite things to do is to go out into the woods and just do a little Reiki on myself. It's so nice. But yeah, we're natural beings.
Yeah.
We're here on a natural planet, right? We are part of the earth. We are part of the soil. And universal energy is everywhere. So yeah,
Oh,
it's good stuff.
it's so good. And I think a lot of people are worried that energy healing is going to unground you, right? It's the ether, it's the spiritual energy. But it really, most of the time, I mean, if it does need to get your feet off the ground for a little bit, it's smart, it will. But it really does, I think, ground us in nature, remind us that, oh crap, we are nature. We just created buildings and moved inside. We are nature. And then we brought nature inside. That's my favorite part about us, is like we separated ourselves from nature. But then we were like, God, I need to put some plants in here and get an animal and put that in here too. It's like we
Yep.
can't help but to like reconnect back to what we are. And Reiki really does that. All universal healing energy really does reconnect you back with purpose. And like the foundational primary purpose of all of us is to be here now, right? To be human and hopefully, fingers crossed, enjoy being human, knowing that's always possible. So yeah, you might start working with someone like Brooke and you might not be able to resist the urge to hug trees, which don't resist, hug the trees.
Don't resist. Oh man, yes, absolutely. Hug a tree. Hug a tree today. Go out and hug a tree.
Hug a tree. I have a favorite tree. It's right out front. It's a palm tree. I named it Harry. And there's
Love it.
always sand in my shower. I don't live by the woods. I live by the beach. And I've given up keeping my floors and my shower clean because I have to dig my feet into the sand like every single day.
See, look at you.
Um,
You're bringing the beach inside. You're bringing
yeah,
nature.
cracking nature in, and I'm the adult, so no one yells at me.
One can tell you not to. There's no such thing. You're good to go.
Exactly. I'm like, ha ha ha. And then every
Look
once in
where
a
I
while,
am. Yeah.
how am I unchaperoned in this life? But that's okay. Oh, I love this. I love this conversation because so many people have so many curiosities, and all they're really doing is, reading the Google or asking Chat GPT, and that's all fine and well, but it's cooler, I think, when you're actually talking to like real life people, especially now when it's starting to get hard telling the difference between like a real person and an AI image, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
It's
wild.
crazy.
It's
Oh, wow.
wild. As as a child of the 80s, I would just like to say Back to the Future promised us hoverboards. And
Yeah.
I feel like we should have handled hoverboards before we did all this AI stuff because I'm disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. There were
Where's my
many more
hoverboard?
warnings. There were many more warnings about AI than
Yeah,
hoverboards. So
yeah, yeah. I remember
hoverboards.
someone told me they're unsafe, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, incredible. Brooke, thank you for letting me yap at you. And can you tell everybody where to find you, how to find you?
Absolutely. My website is resonateroots.com. You can book a distance session there. And you can find me on social media at Resonate Roots Reiki.
Amazing. And if you are local in the Bible Belt in the great state of Tennessee, outside of
Tennessee.
Chattanooga, you
Yep.
might even have the special treat of meeting Brooke in real life.
That's right. Yeah, coming soon. And yeah, we have a priest property out here just outside of Chattanooga, and we are working on turning it into, a little retreat center for healing. So I'm looking forward to opening that to the public here soon.
Ah, dreamy. So good. We all need this. If you're watching this, this is your sign. Amazing. Well, thank you so, so much, Brooke. And I will talk to you soon. And I will see you soon in real life when I am in Tennessee.
That's right. And I will find you on your Bible Belt tour.
Perfect. Thank you, Brooke.
Awesome. Thank you, Meg.
Mwah.